now rocking with TDF everything. Spoiled rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is Ben.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, we're doing another tier list, everybody. It's time to get excited. We are doing superhero TV show tier list. Here are the rules. It needs to have come out, like the first episode needs to have aired after 2012. It needs to be live action.
Yep.
Other than that, if you don't hear a show on this episode, either we didn't watch it or I just forgot. Sorry. So there we go. I tried my best.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna try to take a look at the animated stuff at some future date and time. And just a quick apology to our listeners right now because I'm pretty sure the audio quality on my end is not doing too well. For those longtime listeners, it might sound familiar to the Soul setup, where we did Agatha all along, because that's the exact same setup I'm using right now in Victoria, BC. So I really got to figure out my travel mic situation, but here we are.
Well, I think most of all, it's just thank you for recording while you're traveling. You don't have to. So I appreciate you playing ball. You don't have to apologize for anything.
No worries, man. It's the digital life nomad lifestyle. I am finally embracing it for the first time ever since I went fully work from home. So lessons learned for future. Got to figure out a better mic situation for sure.
All right. We're going to start in the DC Arrowverse. Again, if you don't hear a show, it's just because I forgot or I didn't watch it. There's no like kind of shade or anything like that. First show is Arrow. That kind of started it all. Well, I think it's hard because I don't think it had a flawless run.
No,
but I think it has its merit. I feel like for me it's kind of like a B tier.
I would put it at B tier for sure. I mean, this is talking about a show that was the OG that kicked off the whole CW verse and all that kind of stuff. And for everything that I remember of the show, it's a well-written show with overacting through and through. It's one of those things where if you can deal with that, but also look for good writing, that's my impression of it. But yeah, I got to spin off a whole other bunch of shows that I'm sure are going to be on this list. But for all intents and purposes, I agree. It's a B tier show.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we owe it a bit more conversation because it's the first one. But honestly, I just feel like it's solid. I watched it all the way through. They even had me on the hook for the like future spin-off, which isn't on because it didn't actually go to series. But like when they were trying to do his daughter in the future. Stuff. I was like, yeah, I would watch this too. I appreciated how they made the characters their own most of the time.
Most of the time,
most of the time, I was like, that's good. Like, I feel like it was a good Deathstroke. For instance,
Deathstroke was fantastic. I loved that iteration of Deathstroke for sure. My issue predominantly is with Ollie, the Green Arrow, in the sense where I'm like, feels like you're doing Batman without Batman.
I mean, the more I know about, I don't even remember that guy's name, but he is Canadian. Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Yeah. He's not a great guy. He's not a great guy.
Yeah, the whole him during the strike stuff was not good.
Yeah.
But the more I see of him outside of that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I don't mean this as like he's just like Oliver Queen. I mean, I think the Oliver Queen had to just be like Stephen Amell. Like, it didn't feel like a lot of acting was going on. It felt like whatever he's comfortable with is what they're doing with that character.
Yeah. It certainly didn't strike me as him having a lot of range. And of course, Stephen Amell pops up a lot in wrestling believe it or not. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't.
all right, there's a
I know he
dragon.
does like actual, as in when I say actual, like WWE wrestling,
Mhm.
but he also had that show Heels, so
Yes.
he likes wrestling, and I feel like
Mhm.
wasn't Cody Rhodes in some
Yes, he
parts
was.
of Arrow? So
That's
yeah,
yes, he was. Cody Rhodes was an Arrow, and will be flexing his acting muscle with another wrestler, Roman Reigns, in the new Street Fighter movie.
and
So
Cody,
that'll be fun.
and he was in Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
haven't seen it because you and I have spoken at length about not liking Liam Neeson. So
I watched it for the director, um, but
that's fair because
well,
it's Seth
maybe I should.
MacFarlane, right?
No, it's Akiva
No.
Schaffer
Oh,
from Lonely Island.
oh, nice, nice.
Okay, yeah, Arrow. We're putting it at B. Like
Yeah,
it
B.
started
I'm
everything,
still.
but I also, as I said, was on the hook for like wanting more, even when they were winding down.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I did not love how they did the Diggle Green Lantern thing at the finale episode, and was like, this seems like they waited way too long for this because he didn't get
I
that
kind of
show.
just was like, yeah, whatever, man. It's Diggle. I feel like this is his own character. We don't need him to be like somehow backdoor
Yeah,
um, John
I
Stewart.
I completely agree, which is why I'm like, just don't give me that scene.
Yeah.
Just leave him as Diggle, and I'm happier that. That's all.
Uh, we're doing alphabetical order within the Arrowverse. So the next comes
Nice.
Batwoman. It,
A
I
show
watched.
I will admit I did not get to watch at all.
So what I liked was the first season where the villain was her long lost sister, and so
Mm,
I was genuinely like, oh, this is interesting that
right.
she has this hole in her heart of like, oh, I just miss my sister, and then she's like, oh shit, the villain's my sister, and the
Mm,
sister kind of uses that to her advantage, and there's elements of her being like, you abandoned me. I
mhm,
really liked that element, and then Ruby Rose had to leave, and
mhm.
it was a black woman who I thought was fine, but it just felt like in general they weren't that interested in the show. But for
Yeah.
that first part, it did feel, maybe I'm being generous, but I had it at C tier.
Sure, sure. I'm gonna defer to you because I haven't seen it. I just knew about the drama that was going on with Ruby Rose and
Yeah, I
uh
tried to stay
yeah,
out of that because it started getting
yeah,
awkward about like who had beef with her and why, and I was just like,
yeah,
I don't know how this is
yeah,
gonna work out, so I'm just gonna step away.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, it wasn't a show that was given enough. It wasn't given the legs that it needed to go all the way, especially when Batwoman was recast and all that kind of stuff. Of course, we had a lot of
Yeah,
the people that we'd rather not mention
yeah.
ruining it.
Uh, Black Lightning. I'm just gonna say it now. I was all in for most of the first season.
Mhm.
I don't know that I like Black Lightning as a character though. So
Yeah.
that also is a thing for me, but I liked what I saw. For
Mhm.
me it was C tier as well. It was just like, yeah, like they're
Mhm.
taking their first swing at it seriously.
Mhm.
Uh I even liked when he showed up in the crossovers. But
Mhm.
it really was a great supporting cast for the most part, like especially his
Mhm.
daughters and how they would weave in and out of villain storylines.
Mhm. Mhm. I like the concept of the show. It was just like, oh, okay. I don't think this is what I like, but I like the concept of like old superhero trying to come back to
Yeah,
relevance and all that kind of stuff. That is really, really interesting. But it was just like, I don't, again, it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't think you put enough effort into this, which sucks because it could
it
have
didn't
been
feel
really,
like
really good.
sustained effort at the
Yeah.
very least.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, what, the first three episodes that were like pretty darn tootin' good. And then afterwards, I'm like, there's that huge fall off in terms of quality here. It felt like they put all their money into, uh, all the chips into appeasing the critics for the for the first three, and then to try to get more of the audience on board. But it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah. DC Legends of Tomorrow. I'll be honest with you. There were times when I watched all of the shows where I'm like, this is the best show.
Yeah.
I loved how loose they could be with it and just jump in and out of stories and
Mhm.
truly feel like each episode could be a comic book issue and just have
Mhm.
fun. And
Mhm.
it started making me really like Captain Cold and the Fire guy. I don't remember them. You know, the Prison Break
Yeah.
guys. But like
Yeah.
in the show separated from Prison Break, I was like, yeah, like I like
Yeah.
them a lot. Um uh I could go
And
very
Brendan
low A
Routh
or
is,
B.
yeah.
Yeah, and he got
I
to do a
mean,
lot of actually you just reminded me of when they were doing like Crisis and he got to do like I would put it at A for that. Like I genuinely
I
was like I really like this show.
Yeah, Legends is surprisingly good, and it is because I'm very much with you. The fact that they didn't have to commit to anything because they could jump in and out of time. So it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we're having good TV fun here, but also with characters that worked really, really well, but on their main shows that had nowhere to go afterwards. And they just really turned it into something really, really great. It was a sleeper hit for me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm very, very happy with it at lower A tier.
Yeah, and I would say we kind of just spoke as if everyone knows. Brandon Routh, who played Superman in Superman Returns, we spoke about him with Petula. He got his redemption arc in this show as the Atom, but
Mhm.
there is, because they can do like timeline and past and future hijinks. He got to be Superman again,
Mhm.
and I liked that when he was playing the Atom and he interacted with Supergirl. He's like, "Hey, you remind me of my cousin," and I was like, "Now that see, this is the type of fun we can have here."
Yes, yes, I love that kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. Um, fourth wall breaking comedy for sure. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Well, I'm glad we sorted that out.
Mhm.
Doom Patrol. I feel like okay. So this is the first one where I have actual episodes. If you want our full thoughts on Doom Patrol, we did season 1 on episode 277, season 2 on episode 293, and season 3 on episode 347. Uh, we're about to do season 4 at some point, so look out for that. But
Mhm.
I think this is a show we really like as well.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Um,
feels way different than the other Arrowverse stuff, but it is technically part of the Arrowverse.
that's very, very true. It is such a wonderful show. I like the exploration of the LGBTQ themes in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some great acting, great stuff. Whatever. Niles, you'll listen to those episodes. Famously, I do not like that character, but the rest of the characters love it. And Brandon Fraser, I
Yeah,
love
he's
seeing
amazing.
Brandon Fraser and stuff. He's great. So I love this show. I want to put it at an A tier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's A tier.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Uh, next I have Stargirl. Honestly, I didn't finish the first season, so I can't really put it more than a C. But I was into it for what I was watching. It just never
Mhm.
really. It came out at a time where I'm like, there's just too many of these. But
Yes.
I found that I was invested in her journey,
Mhm.
but I wasn't obviously invested enough. But I've heard people say it's really good. But it was more for
Yeah.
me like I'll get back to this, and then I just never did.
Yeah, that was one of those shows where I watched the first two episodes when it came out. I'm like, okay, there's something here. And then I was like, I think university at the time, so I'm like, I gotta study, man. I can't do this right now. So I wanted the whole season to come out and retroactively watch it, but never got a chance to. My judgment of this would be biased for sure, but I think it's probably lower B, borderline C. I don't know.
Oh,
It is that point though that you made that the CW verse just blew up at one point and it became so unsustainable to keep up with everything.
well, I see. I have it at like a C, but that's because I'm like I didn't. It didn't really hold my interest.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like this is making me feel like we should probably do like a revisited on this show,
Probably.
and then
Yeah.
reassess it. But you're saying B? like low B.
I'm thinking B because like what I saw from episode 1 and 2, I'm like, yeah, they've got some good concepts here. This is fun. The
All right,
acting here makes sense for the characters that they cast, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's
all
you
right.
know, it, yeah,
B it is. Supergirl. I gotta say, the first season truly won me over. I remember seeing the
yep.
trailers and being like, "No, this is not for me." And then
Mhm.
I don't even think I needed to get all the way through episode one. I was like, "Oh shit, I like this show." Like
Yep.
just within the first, it, it's like it gets sloppy at times, but so do most of these. Most, not all, because I don't think Doom Patrol gets that sloppy.
No.
But most of these Arrowverse shows get sloppy, so I
Yep.
can't really ding it for that. I mean, yeah, for me it's A because I was really into Melissa Benoist's version of Supergirl
Mhm.
and what she went through.
Mhm.
They did some fuckery with the whole making season one about her getting with Jimmy and then being like, she can't be with black
Yeah.
people. But
Mhm.
you know, what are we gonna do about those types of decisions being made?
Yeah. 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 I'm glad you said A because I'm like, yeah, I really like this show. Melissa Ben was really really good. But just it was just a fun Supergirl, and I think I'm glad you called out the trailer for the show because all I can remember from the trailer for the show was, yikes, that's the dialogue they want to put in here, and that's specifically referencing the Calista Flockhart kind of
Yeah, I thought I was
rant
gonna
about
hate her
like,
for sure,
yes, I thought I was
and then
gonna
I
hate her
missed her in
character.
season two.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I actually don't hate her. I just hated the dialogue that they forced in there to justify the Supergirl and
Hmm.
instead of the Superwoman kind of perspective angle that she put in there. But that was the big reason why I'm like, oh, this is really cringe dialogue. But the rest of her character is actually really good.
Yeah, and the show did a great job of. I feel like this and Superman and Lois did some good fake outs with like black characters. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they did like the Hank Henshaw, like he's
Mhm.
cyborg Superman, and then I'm talking about Supergirl at this point, and then being
Mhm.
like, nah, he's Martian Manhunter, and you're like, oh shit, like that's really cool. I'm glad because they were hinting at something completely different, and then they kept playing at it, and then oh wait, I guess yeah, Dean Cain was her dad. Rough stuff. But
Yeah, that's the
but
that's
I
the
mean,
part where I'm like,
that is what I liked about the Arrowverse in general, though. Like, if
Mhm.
someone was alive and they played the character before, they were going to be involved somehow. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
eh, the
There
Flash,
was
same
that.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
like her mom was, I can't remember the first name, but Slater, the woman who played Supergirl in the movie. Her
Hmm.
dad was Dean Cain, unfortunately, but I think they made it so that he was Cyborg Superman. I'm like, okay, good, he can be the bad guy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they just did a good job of being like, this person is here too. We didn't forget what came before us.
Yes, yeah, the honored legacy throughout the CW
Mm-hmm.
stuff that they did, and I really love that. I really, really do.
Uh, we're at Superman and Lois.
Yeah,
Honestly, this might be my first S tier. The fact
yeah,
that I
yes.
genuinely cared about Superman and I think if people listen to this show, they know I'm down for Lois Lane. But like the fact
Mhm,
that they even got me to like his kids and care about what's going on with his kids, and they
mhm,
make them very annoying. But I think, well, I should tell everybody we did episodes 28, sorry, 282, 320, 340, 343 for Superman and
mhm,
Lois. And for Doom, oh, I did Doom Patrol already. But yeah, you can listen to those episodes to get our full thoughts on each season. But I feel like the through line was like, yeah, the kids are annoying, but I get it. I actually
mhm,
feel like they're written well, and they always had their moments of being like, you lied about who you are fundamentally. Don't try don't try and give me a
mhm.
morality talk.
Yeah, yeah,
Great show.
I'm right with you on there, S tier, for sure. Because the kids, as annoying as they are, that just reminds me of like, yeah, that means they did a good job with the writing as well as the acting to make me feel that way about them. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, yeah, they're freaking kids. Like that is what is your whole world at that point in time. And it is what it is. But it is fundamentally a great show. And for a show that got a shortened final season, they still did a lot with that final season
Hmm.
that was truly remarkable. It didn't feel like it was cut to or edited down or distilled.
You felt it
We
with the
got
cast,
full
but
flavor.
story
Yeah,
wise, it was still solid.
yeah,
This would be
yeah.
a show where I don't think it gets sloppy.
Yes, I think the only sloppy thing is the portrayal of Flex, and that is
Yeah, I mean,
definitely something to
I
be
feel
looked
like they
for.
just made a choice that didn't work for me.
Yes.
It's not like where it's not like the other shows on this list where you're like, this was just not a good season, or like, what are they doing here?
Yeah,
That was just like, oh, I mean, I don't like this portrayal, but it probably worked for people, just not me.
yeah, yeah. And I can always respect a swing, a
Yeah,
big swing for
yeah,
something, and it just didn't work for me, but I'm sure it worked for some people because we kept calling it like Sons of Anarchy Lex, and I'm sure
yeah,
that that would have been very popular with a lot of people for sure.
yeah. I think they were like, yeah, something new.
Hmm.
Uh, The Flash.
Yeah,
This was
baby.
just inarguably a good show. I don't like it's not
Yes.
S tier for me, but because I don't even
Mhm.
think I cared about the last season, but the, the Flash was like consistently good for the
Yeah.
longest.
Yeah. I loved
Grant
Grant Gustin
Gustin,
in
yeah,
this
Grant
role.
Gustin's a great Barry Allen, even though I feel like a lot of people agree he wasn't. In my mind, he wasn't doing Barry Allen; he was doing more Wally West. But I don't care. Like I just like you know
Right.
what
Yeah.
he's likable. Um, I mean, I know they had their awkwardness of like hiring a racist that made the woman who plays
Mhm.
Iris feel bad and
Yep.
whatever. That has nothing to do with the writing though.
Mhm.
It was the I would say once DC Legends found its footing, it got consistent, but the Flash kind of stayed the most consistent for the longest.
I'd agree. I'd agree. I think this is a really great show. And for me, it's funny because I can't remember the final season, but at the end
I
of the
just know I
day, I
didn't
know I
watch it.
watched it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I definitely remember watching, but I think it was because there was just so much that I was watching at that time that I wasn't watching it with full attention and all that kind of stuff. But it was a good show. It's a really good show for
It
sure.
is a good show.
Mhm.
Uh, Finally, Titans. We did season 1 on episode 280, season
Mhm.
2 on episode 298, and season 3 on episode 331. And we will get to season 4. Don't worry, it's coming.
Mhm.
To me, this is the first D. I do not like a
Yeah.
lot of the swings they take,
Mhm.
and especially now that we're revisiting it, I'm like, I feel like I was just had some version of Stockholm syndrome that I thought that the show kept getting better. Like
Yeah.
I do think still that season 3 is the strongest, but that's just because I did not like the first 2 seasons and I didn't hate
Yeah.
the third one.
Yeah. It's a show that is making some of the worst decisions possible. And to me, like it's very clear they want to do Batman stories, but they don't have access to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, it's just like Dick Grayson in this is just not a likable person or character, and that
He's just
is
Bruce Wayne,
blue
and you're
line.
like, or
Yeah.
he's. We've said this on the episodes. He is
Mhm.
the version that people think Bruce that who don't like Batman think Bruce Wayne is.
Yes.
That's what they're doing. Is
Yeah.
and I don't. It's a baffling decision considering it's
Mhm.
specifically Dick Grayson who is supposed to be the counterbalance. Even when you're
Yes.
doing Bruce Wayne right, that's supposed to be the counterbalance. Not I got angry at you, so now I'm just gonna act like you.
Mhm. And it gets even more confusing when they actually introduce Bruce in there, when you're just like, he doesn't seem nearly as bad. Like, why is Dick
He
Grayson so
seems like
pissed
he's
off in this
like
situation?
repenting or at least trying to offer an olive branch, but it's still just like I don't know. You should
Yeah.
just be Alfred. I do not like that they even tried to incorporate Bruce Wayne.
I 100% agree. Alfred would have made more sense because it was just like, all right, well, you can pay for our Teen Titans tower, you can pay for this, you can pay for this, but still screw you. And Bruce is just, granted, the amount of money he has, it literally doesn't matter. But still, it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I don't you haven't convinced me Bruce is as bad. Like I wish they did do some flashbacks where there was more of a example as to how bad he actually was. Nope. And I'm just like, I'm convinced that Dick Grayson's the issue here. And for me personally, I I'm looking at that show and I'm just like, oh man, it's hard for me to put this at a D when your cousin Ryan is on this show. And I'm like, that's awesome. I love seeing him there. It's so cool.
No, he's great in the show. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't like the show,
It's just
and
the show doesn't
I
do him
put it out
good.
of my mind that he's in there, even though he is
Yeah.
Robin's father, and I'm like, that's wild
Yes.
because I really like
Yeah.
the character Robin. He's Tim Drake Robin's father.
Yeah.
Um, we still have season 4. Maybe it gets better.
Yeah. Hopefully it does. We'll see. I haven't seen season four yet, so there's still hope out there.
All right, now we're going into the other of DC shows.
Mhm.
First up is Gotham.
Yikes.
Honestly, I watched it all, and I was kind of like, every time they did a super villain, I'd be like, "There's an interesting way of doing that." But I think the biggest compliment I could give it is that they completely blew my mind with what they did with who they kept pushing to be Barbara Gordon, as in the wife, not Barbara Gordon, the daughter.
Mhm.
Barbara Keene, and then just making her go full villain and basically be the Harley Quinn of the show. I was just like, oh, that's wild. I was not expecting like that. Actually, was like, okay, I'm leaning in. And
Mhm.
I've said many times, I like what they did with like Riddler and Penguin, and
Mhm.
how Penguin had a crush on Riddler. That was like wild, and just Riddler having like a fixation on this librarian. They did the bad guy stuff so well that you were just like, yeah, why did
Mhm.
you guys think you could just do it about the police department? Like, I know there's a
That's
comic about it, but
mhm.
it becomes so very clear that that should have been the Penguin show before the
Yes.
Penguin.
Mhm. That's
And like the
uh,
writing, like, is kind of like, yeah, sorry about that. Like, I'm sure people will complain about like the way they did Bane, but I was like, oh, that's a smart way of doing Bane. Or the when they did
mhm.
Mister Freeze, I was like, oh no, this is fucking sick. It
Mhm.
just, I really liked any time they were like, here's our version of villain. It obviously falls apart for me when I'm like, so if the cops can stop these people, then why would I ever believe there needs to be a world where there's a Batman?
Bingo.
But when you don't think about that, I'm like, I mean, they are doing interesting things with these villains, and I
Yes.
genuinely liked how they captured how stupid Selena Kyle can make Bruce Wayne look and feel. I really liked
Mhm.
all of that stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's a show where I am watching and rooting for the bad guys. Um, and it's easy to do that because the good guys are ultimately cops, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe that's a lot easier leaning into it. But I'm just like that they genuinely put more effort into writing the bad guys of the show. Like the Penguin, anytime I saw him, I'm like, let's go, baby. You're doing something good here. This is
yeah.
great. And like you said, Mr. Freeze is wild in that show. So this it's a conflicting show because to me it's like polar opposites where I'm like I don't care about what I should be caring about and I care heavily
Yeah, there's
about what
no
I
way
should be
people could
rooting
come out of
against.
that being like, I really liked Jim Gordon in that show. He's the
Yeah,
best.
I can't see it. I can't see it. But aside from the fact that maybe someone had a crush on the actor when he was in the OC or something like that, but even then
Certainly
that's
the
like
woman who
very
played,
low.
what's her name again? Leslie Tompkins, that
Mhm.
character.
Yeah.
She cheated on her husband and had a baby with him, so obviously she had a crush on him and that worked out for her. But
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. The more I talk about it, I'm like, is it B or C? I can't tell.
I want to put it in a B because you get such memorable like villain moments.
It's
But
decided we're
yeah,
putting it at B.
all right, sweet. Let's do it. B. Which is
Um,
surprising. I never would have thought. But here we are.
Peacemaker.
Yes, sir.
I can't tell. Is this an S? Like, I
It's an
remember.
S.
Yeah,
S.
I
It's an
remember
S
being
tier show.
like, to be clear, if you want to hear our thoughts on Peacemaker, we did episodes 172 through 177, including
Mhm.
177. Those are all of our Peacemaker episodes. So you can get our full
Season
thoughts on
one.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
season one specifically.
Um, but I think we both loved it, and we're
Yes.
it was one of those things where like, well, this is where it's going. Like we thought that, and then there was still an episode left, and they actually landed the plane instead of having us be like, yeah, why'd they do that? Like, it is well written, and you care about these characters. Yeah,
And
I have watched all the available episodes for season 2, and I don't think they've missed a beat on the. This is what I was talking about when we were talking about Creature Commandos, which is obviously not in this episode because it's animated. That the level of care for those characters, again, we didn't. This show was about trying to dismantle like internalized racism and generational racism, but even without people catching on to that fully, you can still be like, I'm invested in these characters in a way that I didn't feel like for Creature Commandos. So so it's not about the subject matter it's tackling, more the care that is put into making you want to lean into the characters.
Yeah, and this is a show to me that is to me it's an S tier show because it's one of those things that tackles on those social justice issues, but I haven't heard a single person call this show woke. You know what I mean? It's just like in a derogatory way. In the sense where I'm like, yeah, they're not complaining about it, they're talking about it, and there's all these great moments like that one moment where Hardcore explains why the term Oriental is actually super, super racist and all that kind of stuff. And then not only that, just seeing John Cena do his thing. Because to me, I've been a big love-hate John Cena fan ever since the wrestling days. But now that he's a fully committed actor and his final run in the WWE, I'm all on board with John Cena as what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm a big fan. I just want to see more out of him. So he's such a great comedic actor, and he does this job so well, and he provides a level of acting depth that I never would have suspected.
Yeah, he's got a lot of depth. He's able to play some small moments really well and not funny. But yes, he is very funny. So yeah,
and his improv skills are really fantastic. Like that whole thing where he's going off on economists. You couldn't think of anyone else, and he just goes off and improvs like 80 different names. Apparently, that was just him on the spot. There was nothing like pure improv. I'm like, he's got chops. He's got chops. S tier.
I think this is going to be the first one we disagree on. The Penguin, episode 315. If you want to hear our full thoughts. I know
why is that? You got it lower than what I got.
Yeah, I have this at A. I have this at
A. I've got this at S.
Yeah, I know. I just, as much as I care about what they did there, there's too much going on for it to be part of a connected universe. Like I'm just like, what is happening here? Why would nobody else? Sure, I'll give you maybe Batman's healing from but like no Commissioner Gordon. I know that there's like Bella Real is there and stuff, but like it just doesn't make sense the amount of destruction he does with that explosion. And yeah, I struggle with the Matt Reeves universe because of their dedication to how realistic it needs to be, that I'm just like, I don't. It's really good. I just don't love it the way you do, because there's things that are getting in the way of it embracing what it could be.
Yes, and I can 100% agree with that, because that is my immediate thought when I watched that episode, where like the whole whatever that what's that
they were
area,
blowing, they were trying to like smoke him out of his like thing.
Exactly.
He blows up,
but that whole community goes down in smokes, and I'm just like, there's no way none of the big guns would have been brought in if this is have stayed away from this if this is still in the same universe. There's no way, especially with how important the whole Falcone family and all that kind of stuff is to the Batman kind of ethos and lore. There's no way. And oh yeah, Batman's healing, but I'm like, no, we've seen stories where Batman has come back from like major injuries to still get the job done, and I fully expect that to be the same standard here. So there's a lot of, for myself, I can call this S, but I can 100% C to A because of that fact. I'm like, that's a glaringly obvious detail that they miss. But from an acting storytelling standpoint, and the whole like the
And
constant
Sophia
what the
Falcone is
fuck is
amazing.
happening. Yes, so
Like
Kristen
Victor is a
Milioti
great
is
character.
fantastic.
The three
Yeah.
leads are, and I should say the four leads because you get
Mhm.
Penguin's mom. They're all amazing.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know what they were doing with Julian Rush, the Theo Rossi character.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what
yeah,
they were
yeah.
doing there, but everyone
Well,
else
it's
seemed to be doing a great job. Yeah, there was. I mean, strategically, I'm willing to give you this S tier because I'm gonna have one I want S tier that you might not agree
sure.
with.
Sure. I mean, I'm more than willing to meet you at A tier because, of course, the more I'm talking this out, it is a glaringly obvious thing. And then you just reminded me of the Theo Rossi thing, where I'm just like, man, just commit to making him Scarecrow. Like, just commit to it. Why
Or
did you cast him
something
in
like
this
it was just
role?
like he just likes her a lot. What the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, it's just like it would because I'm just like so he's just straight up a therapist or that kind of medical professional, no ties to criminal activity, and he just broke bad just by being like, oh yeah, I'm simping after you, so I'm just gonna like ruin my whole career. Like, no, none of that makes sense unless he's the scarecrow to be like, oh, this is an avenue towards more power. I'm like, that makes sense to me for sure. And I'm just like, and maybe it's just like the cats at Theo Rossi, they're like, yeah, this guy's not as good of an actor as we thought he was. Maybe we can't make him Scarecrow,
I don't even
and
know
that
that he's
feels
not a
bad.
good actor. I just feel like the writing. I would, if I were an actor, I'd be like, "What the fuck are we doing here? What do I even do with this?"
It's true. It's true. It's just confusing. It's like, oh, so I'm a simp for my client. That's it. Like that's
There's
what
like
my
nothing else here. This has never happened before that I would have someone I'd be attracted to.
yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, okay, no, I'm more than happy to meet you at A tier with that. I personally, I have to acknowledge my bias in what I saw and liked from the show, but objectively, these are big, glaringly big issues, and I think there's one way it could be put into the S tier, but we have to see Batman 2 come out and what the progression of that storyline is, and whether or not they even bother to explain it. But I'm not looking forward to that for Batman 2. I'm just being like, all right, what are you gonna do with this right now?
To be
But
honest, I'm just gonna put it in
yeah,
S tier because of what's gonna come later.
okay, sure.
It you do really like it, just
I
because it
do
didn't
love it.
work as well for
Mhm.
me. I still would have put it at A. I'm putting it in
Sure.
S tier because that means more because it means it found its audience.
Well, thank you, sir.
Uh, Watchmen, the TV show, 302, episode 302. This is S tier.
Very easy. This
This
is
isn't what I
very
was
easy S
alluding
tier.
to, by the way. This is just a very easy S tier.
No, 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 no. If this is what you were alluding to
No,
for
it's
like a
not.
negotiating chip, I'm like, you, sir, need to learn the art of the deal. No, I'm
No,
joking.
no. This
The
is
yeah, this is
very
easily an
clearly
S
S
tier show.
tier.
Yeah,
One, I was like, "What? They're gonna do Watchmen again? What a stupid idea!" And then they were
yep.
just like, "Watch this," and I was like, "This
Hmm.
is amazing from the first scene."
Yep.
It doesn't.
Everything
It's
about
like
it.
it's such a good show. I will keep revisiting it.
Mhm.
I'm so happy it's just the one season and they didn't like run it into the
Mhm.
ground. It
Mhm.
is one perfect season of television.
Correct. Not only that, we got to see Yahya Abdul-Mateen really. I haven't seen him really in a lot of stuff, so this was my like most deepest exploration of his acting abilities, and I'm just like, he is such a great actor.
Oh yeah,
And
the
I
the
can't wait to
episode
see
with
him
him
do
and
more
Regina
stuff.
King in
Awesome.
well, he's
Yeah.
gonna be in. He's Wonder Man, so we'll see him later
Mhm.
this year in an MCU
Yep.
project.
Yep.
I'm a bit worried about that project, but I
Hmm.
want to support Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second.
That's correct. Yep.
He is Black Manta after all. All right,
Hmm.
let's. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it because episode 302 of our show gets into what we love about this. Um,
Yeah, yeah. We'd be if we did talk about this any more than we are, we'd just be glazing it more and more and more,
yeah,
and just be talking about how perfect this whole season is, from the casting to the acting to the everything
story.
that
Yeah,
they've done.
it's great.
And yeah,
Uh, Now we're on to Netflix version of Marvel,
hmm
Daredevil. Funnily enough, we spoke about it on the first ever episode of this show,
hmm
episode 23 and episode 75, and I'm sure other times, but those are the episodes dedicated to Daredevil, the Netflix show. Um, I just don't like Daredevil the way everyone else does. I know people think this is
Yeah.
S tier. To me, this is like
I do not think it's S tier.
I feel like the general consensus. I don't even think you thought it was S tier. I think the general
Mhm,
consensus is this is S tier. It's what Brave,
mhm,
Brave. It's what Born Again was being held up against.
mhm.
It's. I think this is it, and I just have to say, yeah. If this is what people want out of a Daredevil story, it's like to me, this is B tier. I know that you probably have it at A, but I just don't
No, I
find it
don't. I
that.
have it at B.
Yeah, I just don't find it that compelling.
I
I'm
okay, so
constantly like, yeah, man, fucking put on a suit. You keep getting beat up. Like the first season in particular was just
yes,
like, I'm so hurt. I'm like, yeah, I know, I can see
yeah,
why. Just do the thing, and I get that. Our good friend Andrew kept talking about how the showrunners didn't want to do it, and I'm like, that's part of what holds it back for me is that
I agree.
Netflix in general, especially now that we've seen what MC is willing to do in Phase 4 and beyond,
Mhm,
there seemed to be such a fear of putting these characters in their costumes
mhm.
in Iron Fist's case to its detriment. Like the
Yes,
other, and I mean, Jessica Jones was a good one to pick because she actively, the text is she doesn't want to be in her costume,
yes.
so that's good. We'll talk
Mhm,
about that later. But for me, Daredevil is like I just don't understand, and I think in one of the episodes, I remember saying the point of the costume isn't just so I can say that looks cool. It's the idea that he's becoming more than just Matt Murdock. He's
mhm.
becoming something else. So when he doesn't do that and he refuses to do that, I'm like, yeah, you're just Matt Murdock, and this is stupid. This is
Yeah.
frustrating.
It is stupid. I'm actually with you. I think it's a B tier show. On the Netflix side of things, I think there's a very, very big difference between the Netflix and the MCU Phase 4 stuff. But it's a B tier show to me. It's because I'm just like, there's so many things about Foggy that just bother me so much. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, either get out or get on board. Like,
Yep.
why are we constantly dealing with your nonsense in this? Because it's bullshit to me. Really, it is bullshit. And but the idea of the fight choreography being stellar,
It's
absolutely
yeah,
stellar.
yeah.
It's and then we get Kingpin doing such a good job. Like this show is easily, I think, the best out of the Netflix shows, but I would never put it at S tier.
It's the
I would
most
never put it at A
consistent,
tier.
I would assume.
Yeah,
Even though
I
it's not
think.
my favorite, I think it's the most consistent. So if you liked it in season, actually,
Yeah,
probably Punisher is the most consistent. We'll talk about that later. I
yeah,
I think Daredevil was the most consistent that people liked.
yes,
It's
yeah,
not my favorite, but I think it had the most consistent season. Still
yeah.
B tier for me.
Correct.
Defenders. This is D
Yikes.
tier for me. This should
Yeah.
have been way more. I remember we reviewed it on episode 53. I said
Mhm.
even at 8 episodes, this is too long. I feel like they spent the
Yes.
first 2 episodes not even together, and I'm like, why?
Mhm.
Just get
Mhm.
right to it. Um, but it had fun moments. It's all the Netflix people together except for Punisher. Not saying that it
Mhm.
would have been better if Punisher was in it. It's just I'm just stating I know he's not in it.
Mhm.
Uh, also it does the weird thing of killing Daredevil, even though we knew he was
Yeah.
going to be in season 3, and then they had to do a weird thing of like, yeah, dragon bones dropped on you, but you're alive again, and I'm like, why did we even do this to ourselves? Anyway, this is D tier for me. It should have been way better than it was.
Yes. Yes. And it should have been. There was so much I was looking forward to because I'm like, yeah, let's do this. But even then, I'm like, great. He's still not wearing the costume. And this is the situation where more than anything, he has the justification to wear the costume. And I'm like, man, like I remember the promo shot of them in the elevator, and he's just got the
Like
like
scarf.
thing, yeah, the scarf over his
Mm-hmm.
face, and I'm like, and he's wearing the suit. I'm just like, man, you're really not taking secret identity very seriously.
That's
Um,
stupid.
it's
Um,
stupid. It's
all right,
stupid. It's a D tier show. It sucks.
Iron Fist. I'm going to say this is the first F tier
F tier,
for the simple
easily.
fact that you refuse to put this guy in a mask, which would have helped you immensely since Finn Jones, whatever his name is, the Game of Thrones guy,
Mhm.
either didn't want to learn the choreography, or if you listen to other people, only got choreography a day in advance. Guess what? you got a character that puts a mask on, and you can just you can just do it that way. They also did themselves the disservice of putting the guy who was like second in line to play Iron Fist in the show and made him way more charismatic.
Yeah, yeah,
Because then,
that
like,
was not.
he was going to be um Iron Fist until they were like, better make it a white guy because Danny Rand is white,
Yeah,
and then it was like,
yeah.
oh, well, you've just shown me what it could have been. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they. I'm not saying it had to be a not white person, but it should have been someone who could, like, basically every other person playing their character, believably does the fight stuff. Like,
Yeah,
you don't feel a disconnect. So yeah, that just didn't work for me. Also,
yeah.
I know people say they don't like the brother sister storyline, but in the first season, that's all I cared about. I was genuinely like, okay, yeah, I'll watch these people. It was like proto Succession, and I was like, yeah, I'll
Hmm.
watch this. I don't care about the actual Danny Rand stuff. Oh, and
Yes,
Colleen
yes.
Wing is great, but
Colleen Wing's great. Yes,
unfortunately for her, she had to appear in the show. That's It's not enough to bring it beyond F. I don't like Iron Fist either season.
it's a terrible show, and I did like that actor got to outshine him in this show because I'm just like I'm so happy for you. You got that moment to embarrass him in his own show. Great, fantastic stuff. And to be clear, I don't need a Chinese guy doing kung fu.
Yeah,
I famously love Michael Jai White movies, and he's doing all the martial arts in the world and all that kind of stuff. What I like is when people take it seriously.
yes,
Because, and it was not done, it was not taken seriously by Danny Rand, and there was no excuse for it whatsoever. I
yeah.
don't care if you
You can
cast Finn
do a
Jones. Make it make sense to me. That's all.
use the stunt double to do the fight scenes. There's just and
Exactly.
he wears a mask, so it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
anyway.
F tier,
Also, the
F tier.
show addressed it too by being like, "Oh no, if I beat people up, then my company gets sued." I'm like, "Put the fucking mask on, then, you idiot."
Yes. Yes, that was the most annoying thing to me. I was just like,
I
what?
love how the soldier was
You're
like, "I guess
running
I'll
around.
just quit my job." It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're running around in a world where at least Daredevil exists and there is a masked vigilante. You might just go like, maybe that's a good idea. I might borrow that. It's no, it's just I'm going to show my stupid billionaire rich kid nepo baby face. Hate it.
So we get to Jessica Jones, episode
Yes.
16, episode 63.
Yep.
Honestly, if it was just the first season, this would be S tier. But I
Hmm.
could not give a fuck about anything that comes after
Season two brings
season
it
one.
down. Hmm.
It is. I'm still gonna put it at A because season one is so good, but
Hmm.
I do not like the like. I feel like they did this weird thing where they were like, "Well, maybe this isn't a superhero show. Maybe there is no villain." And I'm like, "No, you got to commit. You got to figure this
Hmm.
out. You got to." That was what worked so well about the first season was that the villain was the perfect way to explore the trauma. I mean, mostly because he caused it, but that whole thing about consent and having the villain be someone who can just tell you to do something and you have to do it
Hmm.
was the perfect way to explore that in every
Yes.
aspect. So there
Hmm.
was no real fat on, like, you could just enjoy every scene because it made sense. I mean, I'm sure if I revisit it, there'd be a couple episodes where I'm like, meh, because I feel like that was every Netflix show at the time.
Hmm.
But I feel like that first season was amazing, and that was my favorite show of all of them. Was Jessica
Yes.
Jones?
Yeah, yeah. And Jessica Jones season one, absolutely phenomenal. Not perfect, but phenomenal. And even I got to care about her friend, the alley person there.
Yeah, who
I'm
they
just like,
just get
yeah,
real
she's
weird with in this the next season. It's like she's a bad
exactly.
guy. She wants superpowers. So
Yeah,
you're like, oh wow, okay, but
it's
not
rough
really.
what they do to her, but it's in season one, great arcs. Like everyone's got great stuff going on, and I'm like, the casting for the show was so perfect. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones
Hmm.
makes so much sense, and then having David Tennant in there, I've never seen David Tennant be as menacing as he was there. I'm like, they
Or
got
even the
great
time where he's like, I
performances.
genuinely don't even know sometimes if someone's just doing something because it was a good idea or because I said it.
Mhm.
Like I don't know sometimes. It's
Mhm.
really maddening.
Yeah.
Not that they were ever trying to make you feel bad for him, but I'm like, at least he's not just a mustache twirling villain.
Mhm. There's there's depth and level to him, and that's what I love about David Tennant in this. But you're right that the second season is just like you really didn't have any ideas. You put all your eggs in that one basket, and you really just didn't have any ideas for season two. That sucks.
Uh, Luke Cage, episode 34 and episode 70. I still have it at a lesser A, but it's still A because I feel like it was superhero The Wire. Like you
Mhm.
genuinely like, okay, Harlem is at stake here, and I care about how every character factors. I know people get upset about Mahershala Ali dying halfway through the first season. To me, I was just like, yeah, man, like that's when I look at it like The Wire, and I'm not connected to just the face off between the one good guy and the one bad guy. I'm like, yeah, I you need everyone to pull their weight, and I get that some people feel like it can only be good if Mahershala Ali was in it, but the way he died, like why he died, I was like, that is still compelling. Like that's
Yes.
this. I'm still interested to see like because Alfred Woodard was like the main bad guy in that way. You're just like, yeah, like this is very interesting. I like this.
Mhm.
To me, anyway. I think that both seasons, um, the first season really benefited from being like it's a black man in a hoodie with bullet holes in it, and you just
Yes.
feel a certain amount of pride. And uh, I still think second season actually addressed some of the issues people had with the first season. They
Mhm.
were just mad that it didn't have Mahershala Ali, but like
Yeah.
I felt like season two actually was like, okay, we get what you didn't like about season one, even though I like season one better. I was like,
Mhm.
at least they're looking to address it, and it looks like they actually want to make something people like.
Yes, yes, and I really really like Luke Cage. Mahershala Ali not being in the rest of the show to me was a shocker, but at the same time, it wasn't anything that would have caused me to be like, "Oh, this show sucks because they got rid of this person." I'm like, no, this is just a show that is really good, and I love where they end with this character in season two. Like the fact
Yeah,
that
that
he
he's like
becomes that.
basically a kingpin type person.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal to see. It's like, okay, cool. Is this the fall of the hero, or is this like the hero embracing the actual reality, or what is it? It's
Well,
just
it's like
such a fascinating thing to explore, and I would have wanted that for season three
it's like
because it would
that
have been
Dark
so
Knight
cool.
thing of like you. This is what I have to do to save my city. You can
Yes.
you mixed with, as I said, or I tried to allude to, a lot of conversations that I don't think were fully fleshed out, but were there of like black excellence and black
Mhm.
capitalism and what he got stuck because I think famously, even in the comics, Luke Cage is like, I'll do anything as long as you pay me. He is one of the heroes for hire,
Right.
technically, right? Like he even worked for Doctor Doom, so it was a good place to leave him, even though we would have wanted more. It was like, yeah, man, he's looking to make money, and that's
Mhm.
this is how he does it. This is also one thing that the show in particular makes clear is he wants to save Harlem, and this is how he thinks he can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's truly, truly, truly such great writing and all that kind of stuff, and I really like the acting in it. The imagery is
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. Like every time they had the that picture of Biggie Smalls, that
After the
painting of
crown,
Biggie Smalls and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff with the crown, I'm just like, this show gets what they're doing. It's everything about it so great. And it's a show that I'm like, okay, you didn't have to put him in the costume, and that's famously
they
his character,
they
except for
did
the
it, and then
yellow
he got
shirt.
out of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, all right, you got me there. You picked someone and Jessica Jones that famously just do not wear costumes in every iteration of where they're at in the comics. So I'm like, you got me there, Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you doing with Daredevil?
And Iron Fist.
Yeah,
Okay,
and Iron Fist. Yeah.
Punisher.
Oh God, I think this is a B tier show. I do
What
not
now?
think this is a B. I think it's a
It's a
B tier
B.
show. Yeah.
Oh no, I have this at like D. This is not. I This show is not. I don't think this is. I think so. My thing with Punisher is he works in specifically Born Again, but season two of Daredevil
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
what he doesn't have an arc. He
Hmm.
told you in season two of Daredevil, I am right, and I will do it the same way every time. So why do I need to watch 13 episodes a year of that?
I mean, you're right about that. You're
I
absolutely right.
one, I don't
I
even
had it
think
ranked too high.
the I I think in both episodes we talked about, we don't even bother rating it because this is just not
Mhm.
for us.
Right.
It is
That's
just like
true.
angry white man stuff, which I like. The more we talk to Andrew,
Mhm.
when he talked about Punisher being his second favorite character, or one of his favorite characters, if not second, what he likes about Punisher is not in present in that Netflix show. I don't think. I
Sure.
think people like that he was just an angry white guy killing people.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I was putting it at B because I do love how committed John Bernthal
Yeah, but
is,
he's good
and
elsewhere. You don't have to give it to him for this. Like the show's
you're,
not good.
yes, you're absolutely right, which is why I'm like your reaction to me saying B. I'm like, yeah, I feel stupid saying that now for sure. I just if I'm the imagery of the skull is cool, but you're right. There's no character arc. He's just like, I'm just gonna keep doing this, which makes me more and more like, well, if there's any use of the execution, like what is that, like death row, whatever they call it, um, it would be for him. And the fact that he's out and about, I'm like, this is ridiculous. It is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I think he works for movies when you're like, this is just 2 hours. There we go.
Yes,
This
he,
is
he
it.
does. Because
He's
then we
his
get a
force of
John Wick
nature.
style thing.
Yeah,
It's great.
he exactly. He's John Wick. I don't think that works as a show, and it didn't work
True.
for me. It certainly didn't work for me. I was just like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me, I have it at D.
Yeah, okay, I can see that for sure. I'm interested in seeing where what they do with this Punisher special if they're still doing it.
Oh, they're
Because
doing it. I think they've
yeah,
filmed it. I think
okay,
even that is a smarter idea that it's a one-off special.
yeah,
Like that is
100%.
a much better use of him.
Yeah, and I'm interested because of how he was portrayed in the Born Again
Hmm.
series, where I'm like, oh, he's starting to have glimpses of wanting to connect with humans, as
Yeah,
opposed to being wanting to be just the what was it, the Unabomber type stuff that they're clearly doing of like angry white male takes on the world and doesn't listen to anything else. I'm like, yeah, that I feel dumb for saying B, so definitely D for your shows.
Um, all right, now we're on to full on MCU Disney Plus style.
Yeah.
Agatha all along. This is episode 311. You referenced at the beginning of this episode,
Yeah.
episode 311. To me, this is A. I the fact that they took like this character who I did think was an amazing part of the first thing you saw her in, and didn't lose steam really. Like I felt like this was compelling again. Um, yeah, I was really into Agatha all along.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
loved
they did a
Agatha all along.
great lore building. The end, just even where they have her at the end. By the end of it, I was like, wow, I was not expecting any of this.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that Jack Schaefer got to do elements of what they did in WandaVision, where it's like we're exploring eras of different
Hmm.
iterations of this kind of stuff, of depictions of witchcraft. I was like, wow, I did not see that coming whatsoever. That was really, really cool, and just the idea of like, oh, you're a con artist. The entire time you've just been a con artist, and it's wild. But the one thing that I dislike, which is not related to the show, but it's about how there were so many people bending over backwards to justify her actions, especially towards the end, where I'm like,
Oh
no, she
yeah,
was
the
straight
people were
up,
like, "Oh no, I
yeah,
was like, "No, she's just a bad guy."
she's
And I that's what I liked about Agatha all along and the Penguin. That
good.
were like, "No, these are bad guys. They are
Yes,
the bad
yes.
guy. You're
But the
watching a
fact
show
that
about a bad guy."
people Yeah, that's the fact that people were like, "Oh, she's doing it to save her son." And I'm like, as if that makes the many, many murders and the deceits of people in her own community okay. That does
That
not make
she
it
went
okay.
after
And
them
then,
first, like
yeah,
or
and
only
she did
really.
it
She's like,
before.
yeah.
Yeah,
She was trying to, yeah. I have that at A. I really liked it.
yeah. I think the show is at an A. I think the way people bent over backwards to try to justify it is an F for sure. But
Yeah.
it's an A tier show. Plus Aubrey Plaza as Death, phenomenal, so good. So it's an A tier show for me.
Uh, Daredevil Born Again episodes 327, 329, and 332 of our
Mhm.
show. Uh, I'm just gonna go. I don't care about Daredevil as much as you
Yeah,
and Andrew. Like,
I do care about this
yeah,
show a little bit more. I will, even though I do care about it, I'm not willing to put it at an A tier.
okay, because I would have put it at B. Like,
That's exactly where I have. And the reasoning why is because I'm just like they had great concepts that were just like it, they had great concepts to me. I'm like, you killed Foggy episode 1. You're committed to bring him back in the next season. Why did you
I'm
do
shaking
that?
my
It
head for people who
sucks.
don't see that. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
that and his new girlfriend. I,
Yep.
I'll never forgive her for being like, "Hey, you know, mass vigilantes. What about punishment? Like the one guy who doesn't wear a mask and is very clear about what he's doing. What do you mean you want an interview with him?
Yeah, yeah, it was
I don't know.
silly.
I don't mean that to be like that's why the show's bad because she asked that question. I think
Mhm.
the show didn't work as well for me because there were like like not lazy, just a lack of care for a character like that who's supposed to be this new thing that distinguishes it from Netflix Daredevil. I don't mean that makes it different canon. I just mean that like, hey, we took out the people you like, not that I like in terms of Foggy, but I like Karen Page. We took
Mhm.
those two people out, and so we're putting these new people. Like, don't even get me started on his like lawyer friend and that new cop who I thought was in the first show but isn't in the first show, Cherry or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I was like, what are you doing with these new people? You don't even try to make people like them at all. I
Mhm.
don't know. I just couldn't get over that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show, but there's some truly baffling decisions that they make in it,
I still
for
have it at
sure.
B. It's not like I was like put this at F or D. It's just like it's a
No, no,
B. I just didn't.
yeah.
I thought you would have had it at A, and I would have let it happen. But I was just like, it's not for me. Like
No,
that.
no,
Anyway.
I agree with you. It's a B tier thing. Especially because, and given that they wrote a good reason for why he's not in the costume, but again, it's the costume thing for me. I'm just like, yeah, this sucks because the moment every time he fights, I'm just like, you want to do this? Just put on the costume again and just do the thing so we can watch you do the thing. But no.
This
Um,
show, I mean, this season at least, I was like, I get it. He's actively trying to reject it, so I didn't feel
mhm,
the way I did about the Netflix seasons.
mhm.
But we talked about what I didn't like about Matt Murdock specifically, and
Yeah.
the main character who doesn't want the story to happen
Mhm,
and doesn't
mhm.
really have any pushback. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Echo, episode 275 of our show. This is a C tier.
Yeah.
They tried to kneecap this show. I don't like.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely tried to kneecap this show. It
They did not put
Even the stuff
genuine
that we
effort
saw
forward.
was cut looked way more interesting, and
Mhm.
I'm sure people don't like this, but I was like things like, oh, you know how you shot Kingpin in the eye? He used that as an opportunity to put something in his eye so he can see sign language. Like, I mean, that's a swing. That's something.
Yep. Yep.
Also, basically everyone who lived in the town she came back to was interesting, but it also felt like that um Book of Boba Fett problem where it was like she's gonna be the new Kingpin. I'm like, I don't like. No, they just look like they want to protect where they are. Like Boba Fett wasn't
Mhm.
the new gangster; he just wanted to take care of that town, and she just wanted to take care of her town. I didn't really see that as what they were offering up as the point of the show.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't like you're right. She was just like, no, I want to take care of this community. I want to protect
At
from
first,
the
she
threats
doesn't,
that I
but
know
then
are
she's
real.
like, "No, I'm gonna protect you
She gets
guys."
on board. She
Yeah,
gets on board eventually. But I'm like, yeah, it's the baffling decisions of, oh, you're gonna shoot Kingpin in the face in Hawkeye. He's gonna reverse that. He knew sign language all along, but then he puts in the eye so he doesn't have to use his knowledge of sign language. Truly baffling in a sense where I'm just like, um, please have more representation towards sign language and just do it. It would have been so much better. They didn't they didn't give it an actual effort, but then they also like, oh yeah, we're gonna set the whole Mayor Kingpin thing in here, and I'm just like, oh, so you told everyone that this was not related. This is its own thing, but then you still connected it anyways. What are we doing? So yeah, it's a C tier show. For sure. I
yeah.
wish they would have put more effort into it because they had some good ideas. They really did.
Um, All right, now we've come to what I wanted a bargaining chip for. Falcon and
Oh,
the
you
Winter
should have told
Soldier.
me that.
Huh?
You should have told me that.
We're here. The Falcon and the Winter
All right.
Soldier is what
Yes,
I want
sir.
S tier for its represent. Like, I get that they did weird things with the Power Broker, but to me, that doesn't really factor into what I found so timely about the show and
Hmm.
how I don't want to say seen, but how uh in sometimes healing it felt to have something like uh Sam tell Bucky, "You don't get to tell me how to feel about this," and for Bucky
Hmm.
to just be like, "No, you're right, actually," or for him to be
Hmm.
like, "We didn't actually think about what it would be like to put you in this situation where you're the token black guy."
Hmm.
Obviously, that amount of nuance and respect isn't brought fully into Brave New World, but this show, uh, the way that I feel like people miss the point of what U.S. agent is doing in that show
Yeah.
and his type of racism versus like a Val or something like that is that's the part that was really like, oh, like people get it. There are people out there who get what I'm
Hmm.
thinking or trying to navigate in the world. In addition to the very real thing of you technically want to be a cop, Sam, and black people
Hmm.
being like, why would you want to do that? Yes, there's the superhero thing of like, why are you trying to put that symbol on you as a black man? That's a symbol of oppression.
Hmm.
And I always say, like, even if I don't agree with his reasons, that show was like, this is the reason he wants to be Captain America. And I respect that they took the time to walk us through that instead of just being like, ah, it happens in the comics and he's going to be Captain America. It was like, no, this is actually thought out. And I am way more invested in both the titular characters after this show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised you wanted to use your chip on this because I had that in S tier. I did because of all the nuance that you're describing, but also the nuance of the flag smashers being like,
I forgot
excuse
to
me.
mention them yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're heroes in the regards of they're fighting against oppression, and
Yeah, people think they're the bad guys, and I like
they're
when I
no,
said timely, it was like that's the BLM thing of like people being, well,
yes,
they're not fighting the right way, and it's like one of them isn't, but that doesn't
yeah,
mean the whole idea isn't a good idea, and that I like that even Sam recognizes it eventually that he's like they are
yeah.
trying to do the right thing. I'm the one that's trying to like slow things down.
Exactly. But I just like those people that are like, oh, BLM's not doing it the right way. I'm like, what is the right way to fight oppression? Because all throughout history, we celebrate the the rebellions of so many different things. And now you can't empathize with it. Like to me, I'm just like, hey, guess what, people? The Boston Tea Party was literally property damage. And that's all you seem to care about now with BLM and any protest and all that kind of stuff is property damage. So what is the right way when you celebrate one thing, but then condone another
Hmm.
so harshly just
Well, we
because
know what the
the
difference
veil of
is.
race? Yeah, the veil of race being there, right? So it's just like this whole this earnest kind of engaging with that from the general public with genuinely great writing, genuinely great acting, and just the moment that U.S. agent was announced and you saw Sam's face,
Hmm.
I was just like, that is the perfect that was perfect. That
And
was done so well.
even though you can listen from episodes 129 to 134 about our real time reactions, I will state here the I think while we were watching, we were like, yeah, this is about um, imposter syndrome. But I more and more convinced, especially upon rewatches, and especially the first time you see U.S. Agent run out onto the field, it's a black like
Hmm.
marching band. It's black people cheering him on. It was really a show about how black people are asked to be a part of their own oppression,
Yes.
including having Sam Wilson be like, "Well, I'm gonna fight for my country and wear the thing," and it's like, yeah,
Hmm.
that's part of the oppression of your own people,
Hmm.
and you still want to be a part of it, and that how that buy-in of like, well, I have a black friend, they let me say the N word, like all that type of
Hmm.
stuff, is encapsulated in U.S. Agent in almost everything he does in that show.
Hmm. it's fully encapsulated, and I hate the people that are constantly like, his wife is black, his best friend Lamar is black. Like, you
Yeah, like
can't be
that's on
racist. I'm
purpose.
like,
That is.
excuse me,
Guess who
excuse me,
else?
what are we doing
Guess who
here?
else like to fuck black women and men, slave owners?
Yeah, 100%. They loved it, and then just like, um, y'all are not actually engaging in
And
this
then
to understand what racism is, because guess what? Lamar was his sidekick. He was on like superior to him
he
at
was
all
there
times. So it
for
doesn't,
the
yeah,
optics of like, hey, this black guy is okay with me, so
yeah,
and I got a half black wife who Val
yeah,
acts as if she's invisible for most of it. That's what I meant
yes.
by the difference between the races. And then
Mhm.
even in Thunderbolts, I know people are like, I like him now. That movie didn't forget that he's a shit person as well, because
No,
his bad moment wasn't I got someone killed. It was I was too busy looking at the news about me to care about my son,
yes, yeah,
my
he's
crying
just,
baby. I just did not
yeah,
want to.
he's, yeah,
And
at the end of the
that
day,
was
he's
him.
a
I
self,
just want the
yeah,
optics of it. I don't actually want to engage with this properly. Just give me the
yeah.
power as the white guy.
Yeah, and like, and I'm sorry, the whole idea of him like, oh, he's the best qualified to be Captain America because of all his military accomplishments. I'm like, okay, that just straight up means he murdered people.
Yeah, and Sam
And
Wilson has it too.
yeah, and I'm just like, Sam Wilson has those exact same qualities, but he was picked by Captain America, and I'm just like, this is a PR stunt. And holy hell, what a crazy PR stunt! Because, like you said, like I forget what state they do, but it's definitely a southern state where there's more black people and more poverty, football and all that kind of stuff. It's everything was there to be like, hey, look at the performativeness of this, but people were just like they fell into it. And but those people are not willing to engage in these
No,
discussions about
they're just
these,
caught up in Power Broker doesn't make sense. And I get how that can take
and
you out
that's
of it,
valid.
but I was vibing with the show on a completely different level
Yes,
than
absolutely.
what was the on paper plot. Because for
Correct.
me, this was a vehicle to get through a bunch of stuff that meant something when it was airing and will keep meaning things for people to come, even if they're
Mhm.
not going through the same thing. But I think they will be. Um,
Yes. Well, they are in their own style about
yeah,
it. So either way, easily, I'm agreeing with you. This is I had coming into this an S tier show, if not S plus, because of
perfect.
everything that we talked about.
Hawkeye episodes 165 to 168, then 170 for our show. I don't know, like honestly, Yelena being in it really. I shouldn't say that. I like Kate Bishop Hawkeye, and I like Yelena in this show. I don't think it's a good show though. I think
It's
it's like
not
a
a good show.
C. I think it's just like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't.
I
I
didn't even
don't.
think it was fun. I was just like,
I mean, I had fun with Yelena and
yeah.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah, yeah, yes, that was definitely iconic. Like I will rewatch the YouTube video of
Hmm.
that scene over and over and over again because I just love the fact that she's like, I don't have any weapons on me. Okay, I lied. I don't
Yeah,
have any in my hands. Like the way she just kept going about it, she's like, well, first time in a big city, and I'm like, this is so funny. Everything about it was great. And even the fact that she was like, are you calling me Kate Bishop to intimidate me?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
This is great.
Is it because you want to make sure I know you know my full name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
But
it at
that's
C.
also not related to actual Hawkeye, and that is rough to me. I'm like, oh boy, that is rough.
I just
I do
didn't
not care about the
really
show.
vibe with the whole I'm a killer. I'm like, yeah, man, all the Avengers are. I don't
Yeah.
that whole like, but I killed him. Like, killing is killing. Like you killed a bunch of people. You did kill
Mhm.
people, but also you killed a bunch of aliens who still
Mhm.
mean things to other like other beings. Like
Mhm.
I didn't think that was the right place to. The same way people try to ding
Mhm.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier for him trying to solve like geopolitical issues in a show.
Mhm.
I'm like, I mean, that's kind of what we're here to do. I don't know what
Yeah.
else we would be doing. And we
Mhm.
picked the guy who actually knows how to talk to people to do it, and that's what he does at the end of that show. Versus Hawkeye,
Mhm.
where it's like, he just feels like he's bad because he killed people. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
See,
Shut up! Like, what? It's
that's
like,
See, that's to me the difference between these shows is like Sam has that and still gets the shit done. But like Hawkeye's like, oh, woe is me, blah, 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 all this kind. I'm like, oh man, you've got your family, you've got all this kind of stuff. You're in New York on a vacation, and you're just like, woe is me kind of bullshit. And I'm like, no, aside, the biggest saving grace to me is 100% Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. She actually really made me care about that character a lot more than I thought
Yeah,
she would, which is fantastic, as well as seeing Yelena, and then of course the I don't like the Kingpin stuff, but at the time I'm like, oh, they got the
he's
same
back.
actor.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, Daredevil Born Again is the most I've liked him as Kingpin.
Yes, yeah.
Uh, Ironheart, episode 342 and episode 345.
Mhm,
I have this at A because I really liked her and the group she was with. I think it's a bummer the way it ends, but that's
mhm.
specifically because I think we both agree it's never coming back. But
Yes.
as a season of television, I was fully invested and I liked what they did.
Yeah. It was fun. It's always fun to see a flawed hero, flawed
Hmm.
character, and she is definitely heavily, heavily flawed. It is so much fun to spend time with Dominique Thorne in that way. And it's just it, it it- it's it's a good show. It's a good show. Um
And her
People
friend,
are
I
being
wasn't
cooped
expecting
up.
to like her friend that much, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is
Mhm.
this is good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What do we have it at? A?
Yeah, I put it at A. Yeah, Natalie. I
Sir.
just wanted to get. I know it's
Natalie,
Lyric
yeah.
Ross as Natalie.
Yeah.
And
A
that's
is
all I'll
perfect
say
for it.
about that
Hmm.
show. You can listen to our episodes about it. I listed them. Uh, Loki episodes 140 to 144, then 146, then 264 to 265, then 266 to 269. That's obviously both Loki seasons. I think the second season works better than the first season because
Hmm.
it actually engages in what it needs to engage in. I think what holds it back is that they sideline Sylvie too much.
Hmm.
She
Yes.
needs to be more a part of it.
Hmm.
But we got Hunter B15 out of it, who I love.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think second season works a bit better for my purposes. I
Yeah.
mean, you can listen to the episodes in real time. I'm all in on Loki until the last episode of season one. Then I'm like, what? No. And then season two, I think, did a better job of having the conversations that needed to be had between characters.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's a show it's really, really well done. But the first season, you're right. It's just like it delays the conversation, and ultimately it gets there in season two. And personally, Kid one in season two, I'm just like, yeah, this guy's great. I
Yeah,
love
he's
seeing him in
amazing. He's
anything right
amazing.
now. Yeah.
Ouroboros. Yeah, I have it at A
Mhm.
tier.
Mhm. Beautiful, beautiful. A tier. Yeah, I can't go to S to me.
No.
It's
Uh,
no.
Moon Knight, episodes 183 to 188. I think the more I think about the show, the more I don't like it. I feel the early episodes where they kept cutting away from the fights, I'm like, why? And
Yeah.
knowing that even some of the directors and writers weren't sure what he was doing, he just would go in and out of characters as he pleased. So it kind of broke the rules of the show.
Mhm.
Eh, yeah, but it's fine. Like, I mean, there's probably some cool. I just nothing really comes to mind of like moments. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. Like,
Mhm.
I think in general, I was like, oh, this is a new thing. That's cool. New MCU.
It's yeah, yeah. It was at the time. It was like we got new content, and this is taking a risk. It's interesting and all that kind of stuff. But there is a lot of when I look back on it and think back on it, I'm just like, I don't think the show is as good as I remember it being because of just, it just gets to a end point where I'm like, really a kaiju fight in Egypt? Like
Yeah, see, I
it
forgot about
seems so
that.
ridiculous to me. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
it seems
it's
ridiculous to
either the
me.
second last episode or the second or the whatever, you know what I'm saying, the episode before that, where they
Mhm,
show you his backstory, and that is good.
mhm.
But I think when we reviewed that, I was like, this isn't gonna help what comes next though, because
I
that's so
agree.
far removed. And then they had the big kaiju fight because I'm like, yeah, it's just going to be him punching again instead of dealing with what this is. And I was right.
Yeah,
So I don't
and
really,
yeah,
I don't know.
it's a show that I'm like, are we exploring this? Like, what are we actually doing here? I don't get it. It's heavy material, and I don't think they handle it too well. I personally think it's a C tier show.
Okay, perfect. That's where I had it.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
because I think at the end of the day, if we're like exploring DID, Split is way better. Split is just objectively so good. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like they did a good job of being respectful of DID, but uh, I also don't really like the character in the comics.
That's
It's
fair.
not my style of storytelling, and I
Mhm,
feel like they brought a lot of stuff I don't like into this show.
mhm,
But yeah, Ms. Marvel episodes 194 to 196, then 198 to 199, then 201 is
mhm,
all of season one on our show. I have this at A. I really think that she knocked Iman Vellani
mhm,
as uh, Kamala Khan really knocked it out of the park. Of like, we hadn't seen her before. Yeah, she's Canadian, so that's cool. But like, we hadn't seen
mhm,
her before, and you just immediately get where this character is coming from. And I liked what the show was about, like that fractured being
mhm,
trying to like not fractured because someone like broke her heart, but it's like she's from New Jersey, she's Muslim, and so like there's
mhm,
what people tell her she has to be, there's what she thinks she is, what she would aspire to be, and trying to bring all that together, I thought was well explored in this.
mhm,
Yes, there's a couple of episodes that kind of uh, make it feel a bit sweaty, but overall, I think everyone's been happy when they see her again,
mhm.
and I feel like she's just a great character in a show that's really interesting.
Absolutely. I think so highly of this show. It's so much fun. And like you said when we did our that episode where we were ranking stuff and there was a category of best cast
Mm-hmm.
superhero and you picked Iman Vellani, I was like, damn it, I'm kicking my butt for not thinking of that because that is true. Iman Vellani is perfectly is perfectly Kamala Khan. And just yeah, like you said, exploring the diaspora aspect of identity and all that kind of stuff, growing up in a different foreign land, but still having immigrant parents that are very much like our cultural identity is
Mm-hmm.
very, very important to you. That shift back and forth that you have to code switch constantly was
Mm-hmm.
so well explored in such a young age where it is genuinely the most confusing time to be looking at that kind of stuff for sure. I think this is a fantastic show. And I get why they're like, oh, we changed it to hard light as opposed to the stretching capabilities from the sake of Mr. Fantastic and the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. I'm just like, okay, that side, it's still a fundamentally really, really good show, and it's a lot of fun. And it does set up X-Men are coming or mutants are coming, and I'm like, that's really, really
Yeah.
cool. But the show
She is
itself,
a mutant, and they
yeah,
did
she
play
is a
the
mutant.
X-Men sting.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a great
Secret
show.
Invasion episodes 249 to 254. I say
Yikes.
D because
Yeah.
they did have the moment again. Anytime that they go beyond just these are comic book characters and had two black men try to talk about
Mhm,
who deserves what and uh perceived nepotism and
mhm,
meritocracy versus actually playing the hand you're dealt,
mhm.
I think is important. And up until they fucking shit the bed, we were talking about also that whole um immigrant parent being hard on their kid. Like all of that was interesting until the show was like, fuck that shit. And you were like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
here's
up
ridiculous
and the
emulates art.
villain, like he was good until they were like, shit, we're running out of time. Just make him bad. I was like, oh no, he was like interesting and nuanced. And then they
Mhm.
just made him yell at everybody, and I was like, oh no. So
Yeah.
yeah, D for me. I can't put it at F because of what I just said.
Yeah, it's not an F tier show. There's definitely more care in that, but there's no cohesion in what they wanted to do. And I think it's perfectly portrayed by that final fight scene where it's like, yeah, there's no cohesion in this right now. It's like what? So she's the most powerful person walking around with all this DNA. Like, what are we doing here? This is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I
When
forgot about Olivia Colman picking up the DNA. Yeah, she
yeah,
is also a part of why I like the show. She
mhm,
was great
mhm.
in all of her scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just like this show fundamentally is a mess.
No, it's a mess.
It's
There's,
an
there's
absolute mess.
yeah. I was just talking about why it's not F. I wasn't even saying like, it could be C. No, it's
No.
just it just got out of F because of those things.
Yeah, to
Uh,
me, putting it at F would be mean. Putting it at D is appropriate. Putting it at C is like
no, that's too
no.
much.
That's
That's too
like
much.
my accidental Punisher beat.
Uh, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. I have a very unpopular opinion that I really like this show because it actually felt like a TV show,
Mhm,
and I liked. I know people don't like that Hulk seemingly wasn't stronger than her, and it was. I just like
mhm,
that she was saying you don't need to focus on this aspect of being a Hulk. I know how to control my anger. I have to do it every day in a way you don't have. You didn't have
mhm,
to do before you became the Hulk. I have to
mhm,
do that naturally, and people took it the wrong way, and I was just like, I just I like Jen Walters. I admittedly had started reading comics before the show came out, so I liked that they kept that going.
mhm.
I didn't love where they netted out with the like I guess the like dude bro Hulk, but
Yeah, the
and
incel
what they were
kind of Hulk.
doing with Abomination, I was like, what?
Mhm,
Like I did, he isn't properly explored, but in terms of like Ms. Marvel introducing this new character and having the actor nail it and take it seriously, and me enjoy the actual TV show aspect of it, I still have it at A tier.
yeah. I have this at A tier as well, largely because I'm just like, yeah, I didn't like, this is it, to me, I'm just like it's impossible to disagree with that statement that she has. It's just like I'm angry every single day just
Mhm,
because of how society treats. It's impossible. I'm just like that's not something I know at all, but it's something I can understand and be
mhm,
like sympathize with. And I'm like, yeah, the amount of shit women take every single day in our society is absolute garbage, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's a valid point that people do not want to hear. And that sucks for them. And my message to them is grow up. Like, what are you doing? Like, grow up. You've got a mother, you've got a sister, you've got women in your life that have it way harder than you can ever imagine. Grow up and think about someone outside of yourself, because that's the reality that we do live in. And history has proven that. I mean, you don't have to look too far.
Did
But
I?
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't say what episodes we did Secret Invasion. It was 249 to 254, and She Hulk was
Mhm.
206 to 214, as in 214. WandaVision episode 127. I have it at A tier. I think that I could not have cared less about Scarlet Witch and Vision before the show, and then
Mhm.
after the show, I was like, no, I'm in. I'm in. Like, I want to see
Mhm.
more of them, and I care about them. And it was a great first swing. I know it wasn't supposed to be the first thing
Mhm.
we saw on Disney Plus, but it was a great way to introduce us to. I mean, kind of set the bar a little too high for some of them, but it was like,
It did.
yeah, this is a great exploration of the theme. Obviously, some people didn't quite understand what was happening there because they were surprised she was a villain
Mhm.
in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and I'm like, what part of keeping people hostage and them saying it actually hurts to be under that
Mhm.
spell, made you think that she wasn't already a villain?
Yeah. It
Like
baffles
what?
me. It really does baffle me. When people watch Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, they're like, I can't believe she switched so quickly. I'm like, no, she had a whole season of television where she was the
And
villain,
we met her
and
as a
we're
villain,
just
so you already
yeah.
know that she could be, because when you see
Mhm.
her in Age of Ultron, she's a villain. And then
Mhm.
she loses everybody who was there to keep her as a hero. So then she
Mhm.
goes back to being a villain. That is
Yeah.
a very clear reason why I like things like the MCU, because you can't just look at these things in a vacuum. What came
Yeah.
before it? What, to the extent that this is still going, you can't just be like, well, this, like, I guess, yeah, that's my thing. Iron Fist, I have at F. It's the only F so far we have, and it's because
Mhm.
that's done. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these other things have a chance to get better at some point.
Mhm.
And I like that it's just a continuous story, but also a lot of stuff with her happened beforehand.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
I have it at
it,
A. I really liked the show.
it's a fantastic show. The costume designs, everything, the way it was done. It's a phenomenal. Like you said, it set the bar very very high for the rest of the MCU series on Disney Plus. It's easily an A tier, if not pushing S. A plus for me if we will land there. But like, it's such a fantastic show, and I'm just like, just because you can empathize and sympathize with her position doesn't mean that she's not the villain. Because you're right, hostage of a whole town, doesn't give up, even though there's so many people coming in to intervene to be like, hey, this is a problem right now. And at some point, she does learn that there's a thing like and the fact that they're
But
like,
she
no,
gives up
Captain
because she's like,
Bond's the
"Well, I'll
villain.
just use this book to get what I want." Like, if she didn't go like,
Yeah.
"I see the true error of my ways. I should stop." She's like, "Oh, I can just use this book and get what I want."
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really highlighting. I'm like, no, what makes you a hero is the decisions you make. And if you're hurting people, that does not make you a hero, especially if it's for selfish reasons. I understand that the world got taken away from her, but that does not mean you get to take that out on the world. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what she does. And she's easily a villain in this. It's really, really phenomenal show and really great storytelling. I'm just baffled by how people receive this show.
All right. We're gonna do a speed run on this next section, which is the other Marvel shows, which I think really just nets out to like ABC and Hulu and whatever the fuck that other thing, Freeform or something. Just gonna
Yeah.
speed run these. Agent Carter. I like the first season. I don't really care, but I had it at like a B because
Yeah.
I get that it factors into Endgame, but I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I didn't watch the second
Yeah,
season.
it factors in from a casting standpoint only. But it's
No, it factors in for you people knowing that she had a husband that Steve Rogers carried the casket for or something like that. Like
oh, I
there
see,
is
I
like
see.
story beats that factor in. But yeah, I have it at B. It was fine.
Mhm. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Uh Agents of Shield.
Yikes.
It's fine. Like
Um,
I I don't know. I have it at I want to say B only because they put so much effort into it. Like I'm rewatching stuff with Ghost Rider, and I remember when they did Deathlock, and I just remember thinking, what's the point of this show? Why are they doing this to themselves? But
yeah.
I do feel like it has hardcore fans. I
Mhm,
just fell off after a while, but
mhm,
while I was watching, I was like, yeah, I'm into some of these storylines. Some of
mhm.
it seems overly complicated to bring Agent Coulson back, but other than that, like, yeah, you know what? They're having a good time. I'm mostly
Yeah,
having a good time.
yeah, yeah. It's a show that I couldn't keep up with. But at the same time, I'm glad it's got its fan base. But I put it at C for
Okay,
myself.
you want to put it at C? All right, let's do that then.
Just because it was one of those things where I'm like, this isn't as connected to the actual MCU main movie thing as we were told it was.
Uh, Cloak and Dagger
I
C.
didn't see the show.
I watched
Yeah,
the
I didn't
first
see the show
season
at
and
all.
I did not feel the need to go back, but some of
Right.
it was interesting. But yeah, I have that Cloak and Dagger at C.
Mhm.
Uh, Legion. Now we did do an episode 39 and
Yep.
a bonus episode after episode 43 that you can find. Uh, this is A tier to me because it just blew my mind. Like
Yep.
I just remember like, whoa, what's going on? Like this is uh what felt like fearless storytelling, that they weren't worried
Mhm.
about people keeping up. Uh, I think it got a bit too psychedelic for me, so I don't have it at S tier. But the first bit of it, I was like, especially Aubrey Plaza again. It seems
Mhm.
like she should do more comic book stuff because I also like
I agree.
I also like her and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So she's
Mhm.
batting 1,000 when it comes to to superhero stuff or comic book stuff, I should say.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I have Legion at A.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. It's a wildly trippy show that really takes a lot of good swings, and they land a lot of things, I think.
If
But
people
it
don't know
does
what
get
Legion
very,
is,
very
it's
good.
about Professor X's son
Yep.
and other mutants that aren't mainline X Men. But
Hmm.
great stuff. And I won't spoil what Aubrey Plaza is.
Hmm.
The Runaways. I like this show a lot.
Hmm.
Kids of supervillains trying to do the right thing. So
Hmm.
whenever there's like a weird, oh no, my parents are coming, it's like, they might kill you. You should probably you should probably figure this out. There's a
Yeah.
little extra tension there. But I still have it at B.
Hmm.
It was fine, and they didn't really get to go past, I think,
Yeah.
season 3, but
Mhm.
I have it at B tier. Okay,
Yeah.
last 3. This is just the other category. We got Gen V. I don't know if you've
Hmm.
seen Gen V, but to me, it is an A. It is
Hmm.
everything you like about the boys. I'm not talking about you specifically. If you like the
Hmm.
boys, which I do, it is all of that. But in that before period where you're seeing people break off into, are you going to be a media personality or are you actually going to be a superhero? And
Hmm.
then trying to figure that life out. So I have Gen
Yeah.
V at an A.
I'm with you. I said an A. Just everything about this show is just so wild, and knowing how I'm excited to see how it links up with the actual boys proper, but A tier for sure.
Uh, the boys episodes 294, 295, and 296. I don't know if it's an S or an A.
I will say I do not want to put it in an S tier. I
Okay, then
really
it's
do
an
not want
A.
to put it in S tier. Yeah. Um, the reasons why is just I think there's a lot of off camera stuff that is really, really, truly disturbing.
Then
But
yeah,
at that, yeah,
what's
it's
on
truly
camera is
disturbing.
good, but yeah, there's too many things that happen off camera that I agree with you.
Yeah,
Um, this leaves
great
us
show.
with
Looking forward to the ending, but I'm like, yikes.
Umbrella Academy
Yeah.
episodes 82, 111, 203, and 300.
Mhm.
Hey man, if they didn't have that last episode, I mean last season,
Yeah.
this could have
I was
been.
just gonna say that last season ruined everything.
I mean, I still think it's A for a lot of the reasons I like Legion, of them just going for it and
Yeah.
not being afraid. I also think it's cool that as Elliot Page came out as a trans man, they changed his credits and changed the character as well.
Mhm. Yep.
Uh, I just think that last season, I was just high on, hey, I get to see my friends again, as in the characters I like.
Mhm.
So I probably gave it too high of a grade. But yeah, that last season, I don't know what the fuck was going on there. So
Truly,
it takes it
truly.
out of the conversation for me of S, but I truly enjoyed all the other seasons.
Yeah. I think all the other seasons without the final season are A. I think when you include the final season, it becomes a B show, and it's rough because I think it was just so good consistently. In the final season, it was like, what is happening here?
I don't
Did
know.
no
I
one
think we've
think
got
about
we've
this?
got shows up here that had that faltered in A.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Flash is A. You, I
that's
think,
true.
I think, I think Umbrella Academy is way more consistent than the Flash.
That's fair. All right, yeah, it would have been S, I guess, and then the final season brings it down to it. Yep, A, it is. Because yeah, the moment you compare it to the Flash, I'm like, yep, that's a good argument.
And I'm
Completely
not
valid.
saying Flash doesn't deserve to be there. I'm just saying it's not as consistent as Umbrella Academy.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's not knocking the Flash, but it's just like if I rank Umbrella Academy under the Flash, that seems weird. They are definitely tied
All right,
in that.
so here we
Yeah.
go. We have got at F tier Iron Fist. Sorry if you love it. At D tier, we've got Titans, Defenders, Punisher, and Secret Invasion. At C tier, we have Batwoman, Black Lightning, Echo, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cloak and Dagger. At B tier, we have Arrow, Stargirl, Gotham, Daredevil, Born Again, Agent Carter, Runaways. At A tier, we have DC Legends of Tomorrow, Doom Patrol, Supergirl, The Flash, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Agatha All Along, Ironheart, Loki, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, WandaVision, Legion, Gen V, The Boys, and an Umbrella Academy. And at S tier, we have Superman and Lois, Peacemaker, The Penguin, Watchmen, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier.
We did it.
We did it. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Sorry, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I really just jumped into that without letting you. Yeah, well, there's nothing to write here. I just told you what our tier list is. Thank you very much for listening. You can find us at TDF Spoiled on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube. Our email is spoiledpodcast@gmail.com. You can go to tdfeverything.com/spoiledrotten if you want to find Ben and I on social media. And yeah, we're on most podcast platforms. So rate, review, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, do all that great stuff, comment. And we'll be back next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.